Good evening, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, and Isis, the Alpha Female, who insists on being heard but not seen. Right now, the time is approximately 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. The moon is waxing in Pisces, and the sun is transiting in Capricorn. Fun fact, Capricorn is my sun sign. You know what that means. So, I have the honor and pleasure of continuing my More Than a Walkthrough series starring the Mystic Male Tarot, written and illustrated by John C. Jennison Jr. And of course, I would like to lovingly remind Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, that yes, there shall be close-ups. And the cauldron does not need to keep being bumped into, by the way. Thank you very much. Anyway, so here is a close-up of the cover of the box. And this is the Judgment card, which I promise you, this time, we are concluding this More Than a Walkthrough series prior to the conclusion of 2022, no matter what. Yes, indeedy. And I am going to happily show you the card that we're going to discuss today, which is so appropriate because it is the card that is astrologically aligned with my sun sign, and it is Trump 15, the Devil. As in the horny devil, the horny goat devil. I must admit, it's funny because, you know, I've said this before, online and off, I'm not at all celebrity-minded. I mean, there are literally a handful of celebrities that I follow on social media, and it's definitely under the number 10, so there you go. But when I began looking at this figure, this devil in the card, I couldn't help but think he looks a lot like Ozzy Osbourne. And of course, given the nature of this tarot deck, I can't help but wonder if Ozzy Osbourne is bisexual. Again, not being celebrity-minded, I don't know. In fact, over the years, there are people that have said to me, oh yeah, that guy's gay. And I'm like, no, he's not. And sure enough, at some point, either that celebrity comes out of the closet, or everybody knew except yours truly. And of course, the bats on on each shoulder kind of like gives me that like Ozzy Osbourne look to him. And of course, since I'm always raving about the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous back of the card design, I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the back of the card design. Yes, Drake, right now. Right now! I love this, and of course most of you know that lunar imagery is so sacred to me and so beautiful to me, so I'm very fond of this. Okay, so, and of course I am especially happy that the YouTube studio of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, has a beautiful new camcorder. I will include the information in the description box. And the next time I do a video in front of the Yule tree, I'm definitely going to wear that pair of reading glasses that has the light. So, the Devil, Trump 15, Capricorn, because it is astrologically aligned with the sun sign Capricorn. Beware of overabundance and attachments. Careful of the things you rely on or restrictions that are forced on you. The devil is your shadow self come to light. Examine vices when the devil appears. Now, in Mr. Jennison Jr.'s writings, when the card is reversed or upside down, it represents the shadow side of that card. So the shadow side of the devil card lets your beliefs, the shadow side lets your beliefs limit you or cause you to self-sacrifice. Take time to explore your dark thoughts or they will overwhelm you. So, for as long as I've been reading tarot, which at this point is roughly 30 years, the devil card has always represented to me insecurities and excessive worries about money or sex. Sometimes both, and I am very specific. Those of you that have had readings with me, you know that I do not say words lightly. I use very specific terms, and I do not allow anybody to misinterpret me. There have been times where people have said, oh, that I said a certain thing in a reading, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like something that I would say. I would normally say this, and they're like, you're right, I'm sorry. Yes, you did say it just like that. I'm like, yeah, because I have learned the hard way, ladies and gentlemen in YouTube land, of how much it costs me, financially and otherwise, when I do not say my words carefully. And believe me, that is absolutely another topic for another video for another day. And believe me, there is enough of that topic to have a series of videos, but I digress. So when I look at the Devil card intuitively, it is representing that the client is worrying too much about money or sex or both. Not employment, not career, money. Not romantic relationships, not marriage, sex. It doesn't necessarily have to be money or sex about or connected to another person. It could be about money and or sex regarding the client solely themselves. So let's say, for example, I have a reading and the Devil card comes out, and the person casting the cards says, you're worried about your sexual insecurities. You have too many sexual insecurities going on. And then I would comment on whether that was a yay or a nay, or I would just take it in and like sit with it for a while and see and do a deeper dive. And the client, the reader could also say, and why are you worrying about the money from this when you have the money from that? And I would either comment yay or nay, or I would sit with it for a while and do a deeper dive. But that's me, So to me, the Devil card is about worrying excessively about money, sex, or both. That's number one. And number two, because there are a lot of similarities image-wise between the Devil card and Trump 5, the Hierophant, which interestingly enough is astrologically aligned with another horned sign, namely Taurus, which, like Capricorn, is an earth sign. And fun fact, we are currently in the second decanate of Capricorn, meaning that the subsign energy of January 1st through 10th is Taurus, and the subplanetary ruler of this 10-day period is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra, as most of you know, but I digress. So I really feel that there is also an underlying challenging issue with a major authority figure. It would be very easy for me to say a male authority figure, but since earth signs and water signs are feminine polarity, it could be a person who's female, or who identifies as female, or who looks female, or who could be a man with feminine characteristics who happens to be an earth sign. So there are many different ways to interpret this. And for those of you who happen to be, or who may be new to the tarot, keep in mind that there really are a bazillion ways to interpret one particular tarot card, and that's just upright. When you include reversed interpretations, then you have like 2 to 3 times worth of bazillion interpretations. In the meantime, I once again want to thank John C. Jennison Jr. for creating a beautiful tarot deck. And I say that not lightly, because I am very big on only purchasing complete tarot decks. And when I say complete tarot decks, I mean tarot decks that are written by one person, illustrated by one person, and that are not majors only. And the fact that I have both the Pride Tarot, a collaborative deck, which has numerous artists and not one author, and then I have this tarot deck, the Mystic Male Tarot, which is a majors only tarot deck, that speaks volumes. For me to absolutely only, want these kinds of decks and to purchase them, that's a big deal. And it is a testament to the people who created and illustrated them that what they created and illustrated resonates with me and makes a big difference for me. And for those of you who have these respective tarot decks, great goddess willing, it makes a difference for you too. As always, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do, and thank you so much for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you, of course, to all of you in YouTube land for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, and all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And as always, 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 a big and juicy and bountiful and loving thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions and those of you who have bought me a coffee. I wish all of you a great night, a wonderful week, a wonder-filled weekend, and stay tuned for the next video.